All right, what's going on, everybody? We'll see who joins. We'll see who joins. Could be 2 people, could be 200, whatever. Welcome, everybody. I'm happy that you're here. And Word Life is in the house, and Anthony Lapari is in the house. Now, after earlier a lackluster performance by the Yankees, losing a very winnable series, I started thinking. So we talked about a lot of trades. We talked about Juan Soto and the possibilities there, whether it's to be realistic. So I started thinking like, a lot of people talking about Ohtani too. The Yankees got to get Ohtani, and then what's the possibility you can actually do it? Okay, I'm in a much better mood now than I was earlier. I hope you are too. So and I started roaming around and stuff like that, and I looked at MLB trade values, which I don't normally look at. But shout out to Steels, man. Shout out, man. What's up, brother? So I started thinking, I started roaming around and all that stuff, and I found this article by Clutch Points, and they put out an article called "The Perfect Shohei Ohtani Trade for the Yankees." I'm like, all right, let me take a look at this. So I'm there, seeing what's going on and whatnot. And the guy, right? Shohei Ohtani, baby. Shohei Ohtani. So this is the trade that they put forth, okay? Shohei Ohtani, who, by the way, has a 57.3 trade value on MLB Trade Values, that website that I hardly ever use, but I decided to look at it when it came to Soto and Ohtani. Now, this value is going to go way the hell down when he signs a monster deal. It happened to Judge. It's going to happen. It happens all the big timers once they sign these monster deals. So he will be going to the Yankees in exchange for, you ready for this? Everson Pereira, 16.8 value. Elijah Dunham, 2.4. And Will Warren, 3.6. And that's it. So normally, this is the type of time I'm like, let me ask you a question. What planet are you living on? Like, what are you a moron or something? Do you think the Yankees are going to get Shohei Ohtani for that? Are you nuts? Right? And this is when you go Sonny from Bronx Tale, right? Yeah, put him in the bathroom, right? You remember that? Yeah. And then you start embarrassing. Put a towel over his head. He's like, I don't want to put a towel over. It's embarrassing. You know what? Put him in the fucking bathroom. That's what you got to do. With a proposal like, you got to put him in the bathroom, okay? Because that's never going to happen. On what planet does that package ever get Ohtani? But it also intrigued me because I'm like, if the Yankees could actually convince the Angels to do this. I mean, Brian Cashman would win GM of probably the century for it. Do I think it's going to be a doable thing? Probably not, right? So that's what I'm going to go. Rocco, Aldo, put him in the bathroom. That's what I'm going to do that, right? So it's got to be that way. You've got to put him in the bathroom, right? So exactly, Steels. It sounds moronic, right? That's why I want to put him in the bathroom, Chaz Palminteri style. So I started looking at the Yankees players, and I come up with a more, I think, probably a representative trade. It's probably still not going to be enough, but at the end of the day, you're getting, half the 2 months of Shohei Ohtani in exchange for a shit ton of players. So, and just like who said it up top? Yeah, Word Lifer said you're only trading if you're going to be extending the guy, and that's got to be part of the thing too. And that's the other thing, right? This is probably going to be contingent upon him agreeing to an extension and moving Stanton, probably to the Dodgers. And again, the Angel. Ohtani going to any team but the Dodgers is pretty much an admission that the Dodgers may come after Stanton one way or the other. If the Yankees gets Ohtani, they don't need Stanton, and the Dodgers don't have a guy that can go over there and DH and add to these other guys like the Trout. So the likeliness of a Dodgers team, not Trout, I'm talking about their guys over there, but it makes it easier for the Dodgers to get a Stanton. Consider at the very least that the Yankees are doing this, but this is what I came up with. It's still the numbers don't match. It's really hard to come up with a representative package that's not going to be ridiculous for either side, right? So I got Ohtani to the Yankees in exchange for Elijah Dunham, okay, Estevan Florial. He's out of options, but again, he could probably replace Joe Adell, who I would try to get back with Ohtani here. Used to be the number one prospect in all baseball 3 years ago. So Trey Sweeney, Drew Thorpe, high-end pitching prospect, and Randy Vasquez. So they get a major league spot starter reliever. You get a top pitching prospect. You get a top shortstop prospect, and you get 2 outfield prospects. And that's still only 19.4. With that, you comparing against 57.3. That's why I think some of these websites are just not reasonable because the trades never really even out. And the ones that do even out are so goddamn lopsided. You're like, what in the world is going on here? Right? But there's no way I'm giving up Peraza or some of my other guys like Chaparro, not for 2 months of 2 months of what do you call it? Otani. So Thorpe is a guy because he's so far down, he's nowhere close to being in the majors. He's got a lot of guys ahead of him. So Thorpe is a guy I would consider because there's no guarantee. I understand what you're saying, Word Lifer, though. So I give him Sebi. You want Sebi? Here you go. I drive him there. Okay. And but this is I was thinking about this, like what possible scenario could the Yankees get a Shohei Ohtani? And then I was playing with this website, and I'm like, shit, I can't put together a trade that matches up these trades because the Yankees would have to give 14 players for Shohei Ohtani, and you can't even go that high in this website. You gotta limit the trades, and you gotta cut back. You can't even go that many players, so it's ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, well, not giving up Peraza or Dominguez for rental. I would 2.5 years, a year and a half of Soto. I would do it because Soto's also 24. I said this recently. You know, he's going to be a free agent at is 25. He turns 26 in October. So pretty much the end of the season of his 25 year, he'll already be with a new team. Okay. So Otani turns 30, like I think March or April. So he's going to be 30 beginning of next year. So he'll already be on the wrong side of 30. If you can give a guy like Soto a 10 or 12-year deal, you give him opt out after 5 years, and he opts out at 30 or 31 to go after a bigger contract. You give him deuces. You get 5 years of prime Soto. I'll take that. I'll take that. Now, Shohei Ohtani, two-way, obviously, superstar player, no doubt about it. He's probably going to make $50 million a year. I'm not surprised, but a 10-year deal for him freaks me the hell out. And, like, can he handle the New York market? We don't know. So he hasn't shown an interest or willingness to do that. And, again, this is why the Angels as well, it's probably not going to happen because, like Seal said, they're in a wild card race, right? So, and if you do trade Ohtani, you're going to have to give up half the freaking team for him. So, but I figured, and again, I wanted you folks to see how crazy this website is and how crazy that article was, okay? Because this is the type of stuff that's being put out there. And Soto seems to be a more reasonable trade, a more doable trade. So the Padres are further out from the wild card race than the Angels are. Now, if the Angels fall apart in the next couple of weeks, maybe he'll get put on the market. Unless somebody blows him away with an offer, maybe he'll come on the market. So you never really know. And if these guys don't feel like they're going to give him a deal, or they're just, like they're saying, oh, the most we can give him is 350, when you know damn well it's not going to happen. He's not going to take that. Then you trade the guy. So we have to figure out, what's the willingness of the Angels. But this kind of trade is nuts. Okay. Now I want to ask you folks, what trade would you give up? How do you think you convince the Angels to be like, we're in the wild card race, but we can't turn down this package? What would you be willing to give the Angels for this guy? I'm curious. Sebi's value is way the hell down. By the way, shout out to everybody in the chat in here. Appreciate you coming on with me. This was a spur in a moment thing, but this article came out today. So I'm like, I wanted you folks to hear about this, and I'll even post it in the description later on. After I'll post it in the down below for you if you want to see it yourself, and you'll see how crazy these people are. But it's like, that's completely nuts, completely freaking nuts, right? So, Dave McCutcheon, man, thanks so much, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate the love, brother. Cheers to you too, man. Appreciate the kind words, man. And happy 4th of July weekend, everybody, too. But I'm with you, Seals, too. I'm with you, too. It's more likely the Padres trade Soto. They're in a different financial situation. And again, Soto is 6 years younger than Ohtani. That matters, man. Well, he's almost 5.5 years. That matters a lot. So would I trade for Stroman? No. Even if the Cubs said today they weren't going to extend them before the deadline. So I know he's been kind of pining for him. He's got a blister problem right now, so I would pass on Stroman. I would go after someone else. We need somebody who doesn't have an injury problem right now. So, but you know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to Alex too, man. What's up, everybody? Benji, Alex Lapari's here. Nicholas, Alex, the whole crew, Jonathan, Brandon Moore. Appreciate you all coming on. Yeah, man. And look, this is the thing. Pass on Ohtani. Besides, he doesn't want to play. That's the kind of vibe we get. But again, he doesn't have that decision-making power. He can't say no. He can't be like he can't veto a trade because he doesn't have that 10-5 rights yet. So he can't veto a trade. So, would I trade for Verlander and Matt? No, I would not. I'd stay away from those two Mets pitchers. Nah, I wouldn't. Soto would be. I mean, you go after. I would go after like Soto and a Blake Snell, or even go after Hader and a Blake Snell. You could probably get Hader and Blake Snell for less than it would cost to get Soto himself. So Soto and so we got some steals here. Soto and Hader for Dominguez, Sweeney, Pereira, Marinaccio. Ooh man, Soto and Hader, Dominguez, Trey Sweeney, Everson Pereira, Marinaccio, and Will Warren. Oh, one major league reliever, but you're getting an upgrade there with Josh Hader. Will Warren, a top relief prospect. But again, you essentially, I would do that trade steals. I like the fact that Peraza's name is not in it, so I would do that. Would I deal Cortez in an Aaron? Maybe. If the Cardinals decide to eat a little bit of money, maybe. Or if you can do an Arenado and a Nootbaar or something like that, then it justifies adding Cortez, at least in my opinion. I hope he comes back healthy if they don't trade him, but he's been a little less stellar than he was last year, and I do think this could be an issue with his shoulder for a little while. So I hope it's not though. But if it's an Arenado and a Nootbaar, I don't hesitate to give up Cortez. He's easy to replace, easier, not easy, but easier to replace in this bullpen. I mean, in this rotation. So, especially if they get somebody like Lucas Giolito or somebody like whoever else, you're getting a swap there, and you're getting a healthy Rodon coming back this week. So, I'm more willing to do that if you're getting in. I mean, personally, I would much rather a Juan Soto trade than a Nolan Arenado trade, T. Drake. And again, I don't think you'll have to give up Peraza in a Soto trade. At least I hope not. So that to me makes a little bit more sense. But in this, Arenado's 32 is the best third baseman in baseball. So yeah, exactly, Brian. And that's why I thought this article was nuts. So, and I wanted you to see what type of proposals people are pushing out there. There's no way we're going to get Shohei Ohtani for that little bit. And again, if some Cashman somehow fleeced them into doing that, he'd be GM of the decade. I mean, but I didn't. Yeah. Who the Mets trading? No idea, Benji. No idea yet. Appreciate you too, Alex, man. Thank you. First question is, what is your competition and what do they have? Well, that's a great question. Like the amount of teams, honestly, like the Mets don't have. I don't think they're going to trade Scherzer and Verlander for Ohtani. It doesn't make sense unless they're giving up probably Pete Alonso or Brett Baty, at those level prospects. So, who else? Texas Rangers. They're in division, but they might have some people. It would cost them Jack Leiter and some other folks. There's only a handful of teams. I mean, you look at the Dodgers too. With the Dodgers were willing to give up that much prospect capital when they can just wait until free agency. You got the Mariners, and they're in the same position, but they would only give up that much. They gave up a haul for Luis Castillo, so they didn't even have enough for an Ohtani. I think those guys are going to be the biggest pit bulls in free agency. I think the Dodgers and the Mariners. I mean, dude, if you can get Soto and Arenado, it changes the whole ball game. Changes the whole everything for the Yankees. And again, I would go for Soto, like Steels and some of the other folks, Randall City. I would go for Soto over Ohtani. So, but what's crazy is Ohtani's already at 31 home runs. He's ahead of where Judge was last year right now. So there's a good chance he could be up there, 60 home runs and pitching, which is freaking nuts. So you can consider him. He's not. They already said he's not on the market. They're not going to trade him. They're willing to trade pretty much every other pitcher not named Sandy Alcantara. Consider him absolutely, but we're not going to get him, unfortunately, Sharif. But would I like it? Yeah. Different, yeah. Well, that's the thing too. That's the question. Can the Yankees extend Ohtani? Does he want to be extended here? Does he want to be like, yeah? I mean, I'll give them a shot. Give him 2 months, and would it be enough to convince me to stay, especially if we win the World Series, whatever, right? Because even trading for Soto doesn't guarantee they're going to win the World Series. It doesn't guarantee any team that's not in first place a World Series appearance. So, there's a couple of teams you can move them to that will say, okay, this is a legitimate chance for a World Series here with Ohtani. So the Yankees aren't there yet. They need more than Ohtani. So, but yeah, try to time Ohtani in free agency. Absolutely, because I know you got to give up a boatload of money. What, dude? I'm with you there too, Davey. I choose Soto over Ohtani. But again, there are some folks that prefer Ohtani, which is why I kind of put out this video, because the trade, I mean, I think everybody knows it's going to cost a hell of a lot more than Warren, Dunham, and Pereira. There's no way, man. There's no way. Yeah, same here, Jonathan. Soho over Ohtani. I think the consensus is Soho over Ohtani. But keep in mind, prospects are only prospects. They're not guaranteed. Soho's guaranteed. I mean Soto. So is Ohtani. Um, but Soto's already been to the World Series and he's played big in a big market and clutch too in the World Series. So we know that already. So I would take a bet on Soto. And again, he's 5.5 years younger. I go with the youth. Shohei's going to sign with your Diamondbacks. Could you imagine that? I mean, you might be right, Andrew Gang. You might be right. They could come out of nowhere. Honestly, I mean, that would be crazy if he went with the Diamondbacks. So, I mean, Zach Greinke did it out of nowhere from got to go with the Dodgers. So, sign with the D-backs. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Well, exactly, Steels. I think there's a couple of prospects that'll work out. Like I do think Oswald Peraza will work out. Dominguez, I'm not sure about. I'm much more willing to trade Dominguez. I mean, if I could keep anybody, Steels, it would be Spencer Jones, probably Clayton Beeter, Oswald Peraza. A couple here, a couple there, but you're right. Most of them don't work out. And this is pretty much uniform for a lot of farms, right? A lot of franchises. We need better player development at the prospects level, so no doubt about that. So, by the way, smash that like button. Let's get over 100 likes if you don't mind quickly. We always want to get that likes over 100. It's really, really helpful. It's greatly appreciated. It means the world to me too. I thank you for that. What gets us Soto? Steels, what are your thoughts, bro? What are your thoughts here? Soto, it's going to cost Dominguez. It's going to cost probably Will Warren. It's going to cost Everson Pereira. I hope not Peraza. I know they're going to try for him, though. But he's a tough, because they already have Bogarts, Manny. Their infield is pretty stacked. But I guess you could plug him at second base and you add him to those guys. Like, shoot, that'd be a motherload infield. But maybe you can't get him without Peraza. You give him Dominguez, Everson Pereira. You give him Will Warren. You give him Trey Sweeney. You give him pretty much whatever they want. They want Soto. But it's going to cost at least 5 players, 3 of which have to be in the top 10. So the Mets are definitely going to trade players, Benji, no doubt. Michelle, the trade deadline is August 1st. And for those that haven't heard, I will be going live that day for a couple hours. And so I could report live all the moves that happen. So if you're around, you want to listen to it in the background. If you're around, you want to watch it, I'll be on. So, and I always have make sure you turn your notification button on. That way you'll know when the video is going to start. But it'll probably start mid-afternoon. The deadline is usually at 4 o'clock. So I usually go live around 2 and then stay until 5 or something like that. Because it gets nuts. That last hour gets absolutely crazy. And even a half hour afterward, when last-minute deals come in, they start to trickle out afterwards. So it's nuts the day of. We did it last year, and it was freaking insane. So, and that was a lot of fun. And so if anybody in it that's not subscribed to the channel, please do so. That way, and just hit the notifications. That way, you know when this type of stuff happens. So, but I'll definitely be live giving it to you, play by play. So, and I appreciate that, gang. And I don't want you to miss other good content too, because we're gonna do a lot more trade stuff. I have Jim Riley from Ballcap Sports. We're gonna be getting together later on this month to do our trade deadline predictions and whatnot. So that's gonna be lit. That's gonna be a really good video. So a live stream as well, and kind of like we do now, but it's gonna be a little bit more significant because of the trade deadline happening about a week after we do it. So that's gonna be awesome. I'm very much looking forward to that. So look, the consensus here is like we got a lot of Soto takes. So it just makes more sense to get Soto, doesn't it? Like, yes, it's going to hurt a shit ton. No doubt. It has to get a guy like Soto. So he's a generational player. I mean, Angels. Yeah, and the Angels could hold on to Ohtani. They could re-sign him. I mean, they just brought in Eduardo Escobar, right? Yeah, from the Mets, and adding a bat there, major league bat, who's got some pop. They're trying to do everything, and I think they'll make another move or two by the deadline. So to try to show Shohei Ohtani has how much they want to win this thing. So with him here, excuse me, gang. Excuse me, I got allergy bugs. All right, we got Nicholas out here. Here we got Dominguez, Elijah Dunham, Pereira, Torres, Warren, Severino to the Angels. Oof, damn, that's a hefty trade. Dominguez, Elijah Dunham, Everson Pereira, Gleyber Torres. Well, you get some payroll relief there too, because it's Shohei Ohtani is on a $30 million arbitration season this year, making 30 mil. It's obviously worth every penny. But so you get put Torres and Severino, so you probably get $10 million back in payroll relief, which helps. Um, that's an intriguing one, Nicholas. That's something I would consider heavily. That's an intriguing one. I like it. I like it. Um, yes, I mean, honestly think they need both. But yeah, I mean, you add Otani, you're also adding a starter to the rotation. A healthy Rodon coming back is going to help, but I still think they need another bat. Shohei Ohtani alone is not enough. Do I think the Yankees can get? Yes, it won't cost as much as Otani, but yeah, they could probably get Bieber. I don't know if the Guardians are going to move him if they're in contention, but you never know. You never know. If you get enough for him, because I don't think they're going to extend him, which is crazy. Benji, or Brito and Vasquez trade bait, they would be for guys like Soto and Otani. They'd have to be. You'd have to be. You would move Volpe and Peraza for Soto. You would essentially be giving up on the shortstop position. So yeah, um, that'd be. I would give up one or the other, Davey, personally, but you never know. They might ask. They might ask. Yes. What do you rate? I mean, this is. I mean, this is. There's a little bit of chatter going on, but somebody put out an article today about the perfect trade for Shohei Ohtani to the Yankees, and again, I thought it was nuts. That's why I did this because I want you folks to know about it. I want to get your opinions on it, and it's just good to get all your feedback. This is the type of stuff that makes the channel better. So I thank you for that. Any chance we DFA Donaldson after him? I don't know. And you're right that power means enough if you strike a 50% tank. It's a great point. But like you said, like he hits a home run every 10 at bats, and then he strikes out and pops up, and it's just he's got what 8 hits this season, and 9 of them are home runs, or 7 hits, 9 of them are home runs. Like it's crazy. It's crazy, but true. I mean, it makes sense to DFA Donaldson, and at that point, you got to get freaking Peraza up here. You have to. No, I mean, it's if the Yankees tank in the next 2 weeks, why not? Yeah, exactly, Jonathan. I would start. You know that too. Like I would be making trades already. I don't want the Blue Jays to be too proactive, and the Orioles who we're about to play 4 games against be too proactive and really put a nail to something to us, and make it really impossible for us to come back. So I guess trade value. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I don't know if they would move him because he's one of the most productive hitters and just players on the team, TJ. But you never know. You never know. And steals, I agree with you too, man. Soto the jump start, and then you bring up Peraza, Florial, Workman, DFA Donaldson. That would change things. I mean, that would bring a whole jolt of energy to this franchise deal. So it's a great point. And shout out to Steels, by the way. Make sure you check out Steels and Hector on Yankees Morning Brew and Morning Brew Sports. These guys do a great job over there. So please support these guys. Tiny we got this Dominguez, Wells, Torres, Herman, Donaldson. So we have 3 major league pitchers. Dominguez and Austin Wells. That would be a tough one, Mike D. But if they're willing to take Josh Donaldson off our hands, that'd be a big get. Wells would hurt, but they have other catchers that that aren't talked about. And I see Workfed is still here too. But at some point, I think Wells would probably be a top. If he stayed, he'd be a top catching prospect, if not a starting catcher in the next year or two. So, welcome back, Sunil. Dropping to somebody camp. Nice, dude. Nice, my friend. Yeah, prospect hugging. I mean, it's far too often have the Yankees hug prospects and they haven't panned out. So I haven't given them an opportunity to pan out, just like Esteban Florial. Like it's just crazy. Yeah, I mean, Otani's on fire. I mean, he's the best two-way player in baseball, even though we have Big Daddy IKF who's pitching and hitting, and Big Daddy Josh Donaldson who's pitching and hitting now. But they're just a tad bit behind Ohtani. Tad bit. But I'm really curious to see, Like I want somebody to propose something insane so we can go Sunny from Bronx Tale on him again. You know, put him in the bedroom. We need that. We need it. If you were to trade him, yeah, T Drake, yeah, exactly. Who are you referring to, Mr. Brian York? When you say that, who are you referring to? Because we don't either. Trade him on. Yeah, I mean, you trade him right after. You're right. You do when he's hot. So give my Braves hater. I could see hater going to the Braves. Ryan for reason. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. You said it would fix our. Well, Soto would definitely help, and I would plug him right in the number 2 spot. And that when Aaron Judge comes back, put him at 3, and that's a hell of a 1-2-3. And you can lead off Beta if you want. You can lead off Fault. Like you have options there. But Soto at the 2, Judge at the 3 would be absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. Giants will too. They lost out on. Yeah, they're gonna go hard after him. Yeah, got that right. Well, Angels want to trade the crosstown team. Yeah, I mean they're not divisional rivals, so the Dodgers are one of the few teams that have the capital, prospect capital, to really help boost the Angels. So I wouldn't be surprised. But if the Angels keep hanging in there, I'm with Steels too. I see it hard for them to trade Ohtani unless they're blown away by some ridiculous offer. And I think teams know at this point you're going to have to blow them away with a ridiculous offer if you want to get them to trade the guy. Because they've said it, we want to get this guy through the playoffs. We want Trout to have a chance to win, and the best way to do that is by keeping these guys. So, well, yeah, prospects that can be replaced. Play like exactly, Davey. Soto, I think, is the most appealing player. Most appealing, absolutely. So, I would, yeah, Soto, man. Yeah, I mean, so if you can get somebody like a Lars Nootbaar, controllable outfielder, to go with Arenado, then I can see it. But I would only take Arenado at third base if we can get Peraza at short, Volpe at second, and whoever at first, whether it be Rizzo or whoever. That's for me. That's a elite defensive infield. So, and he's got a huge contract too. So I would expect him to take somebody back at the very least soon. But yeah, getting younger, yeah. That's one reason I'm pining for Soto over Ohtani, because Ohtani's gonna be 30 next year. Soto 25. That's a huge difference. Huge difference. So then Sandy Alcantara, he did 5 years, 11 million per 55 million, which is a bargain for Sandy Alcantara. But he's not. He's not on the market. They've said they're not going to move him. So, you know. So we got all for the farmer for Ohtani. I mean, see, a lot of folks have different opinions on Ohtani. And again, it's he's the top 2-way player. He's super duper elite. He's the top guy that everybody talks about. So I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, and this is the on base freak. He draws walks like crazy. He hits a lot of doubles. He hits some power too. He's good with contact. So he is the guy to me, Soto as well. Mister, well, let's be nice. But Soto's a generational player. So let's not start, Brian. Let's not start trying to drag people into the bad mouthing other people. We don't do we avoid that here, Mr. Brian York, please. But I mean, this is a valid point too. I mean, score system could have done it soon. Yeah, they could have, but I don't know if they, the guys that they need. I mean, they could have. Soto was gettable last year, but the Nationals, they offered them Volpe, Dominguez, and Peraza, and the Nationals did not like Dominguez or Volpe. They only like Peraza. The Padres could have different needs, so that's the other proposition here. Like, what would the Padres want versus what would the Nationals want, and what the Nationals did want or didn't want. So, and that's tough. Old Soto and Ohtani's pitching in the Bronx. Yeah, Ohtani's not. Yeah, exactly. He worries about new. I worry more about his hitting than I do his pitching, even though his hitting's good. But the Yankees hit Ohtani pretty good. So, Ohtani's best ball player of our lifetime is. Mike D. See, this is we got a lot of different opinions on Ohtani. So there's no doubt about it. He's a gifted player. So he's going to go down to as an all-timer at some point. So Rodriguez, yes, he was. Julio Rodriguez, he had a little bit of a slump. Yeah. Hey, Michelle Morales. Nah, you're not late. So this was a random thing. I found this article on perfect Otani trade for the Yankees, and I want to jump on here and see what we got. 113, 114 people in here, so appreciate you all coming on. Shout out to all of yous. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. Let's get over 100 likes if we can. I appreciate that. Um, this actually is as deep as the farm's been in a while, Jonathan. Mostly offensively over pitching, but they do have the opportunity to restock in a few weeks at the draft too. So, and but that's another thing to keep in mind too. Billy Branch, yeah, I am more sold on Soto than I am Ohtani. I don't know about you, Billy, but I'm more sold on Soto. So five small names, and we, you know what, we've put a lot of trade. We put out a lot of trades, like multiplayer trades. Like to me, Giolito and a reliever would be a good trade for the Yankees. You get a starter and a reliever, right? Um, that to me is a good trade because the Yankees you could use one starter and one reliever, and then in a separate trade you can try to move Torres for something else, or you try to move, um, and get your left fielder. So, and I think it is possible. I think they can address left field and pitching at the trade deadline. It's just who are they willing to move? How much are they willing to invest in these positions? Is going to be the question. So, I want Hal said, there's not really any restrictions right now. I want him to put his money where his mouth is. So, and actually say what you said. I mean, do what you said. What do we got here? Dominguez, Pereira, Warren, Marinaccio, Warren, and me. Ooh, Jesus. 4 who steals? Soto? Talking about Soto? Damn. That's a beast. You give him 2 of their reliable relievers. Warren is a potential relief ace or another relief stud. Dominguez. I think Dominguez and Pereira are like obvious to me. I wouldn't hesitate to give up either one because they still have outfield guys after that. So, and that's the thing too. If the Yankees are going to get a guy like Ohtani, use him the way he's being used with the Angels. They're using him intelligently, staying healthy. Don't try to remake this guy. Don't try to do it your own. Use him the way he's being used, like with the Angels. Please, please be smart about this guy. If you're going to give up that much for him, not saying you will, but if you do, please be smart with this guy. Don't try to change him like you tried to change Joey Gallo and Sonny Gray and some of the other guys that came here that didn't work, and then they came back and they're playing better elsewhere. Don't do that. What can the Yankees learn from the 2019 Nationals? That Soto is legit in the postseason. BJ, legit. Nicholas, Spencer Jones, Dominguez, Dunham, Will Warren. Why you want to give up 3 outfield prospects? Pitching prospect, relief pitching prospect, and a catching prospect. Oof, that's a steep trade. Of those guys, I would like to see if I could keep Spencer Jones and replace him with like an Everson Pereira, who's rated higher than Jones. But I think to me, one of the Yankees don't have that many untouchables, but I think Spencer Jones is one of them, or should be one of them, in my opinion. But I wouldn't, if you get him without Spencer Jones, it makes sense. But Spencer Jones, I don't want to give up. Yeah, Manny signed a big contract, but they basically added 5 years onto his 10-year deal. So, would the Yankees take that contract? Probably not. For Manny Ramirez, I doubt it. Look at his stats. His stats aren't overwhelming this year. I'd rather just keep Oswald Peraza in that case. So, spell We got 51 likes. Can we get to 100, gang? We have 49 likes. Anybody hasn't hit that like button, please smash it really quickly if you don't mind. We want to get to 100 likes as quickly as possible. Sunil, I wish I was the man. No, I'm not as much of the man as you are the man, though. I think you're the man, dude. Is Higgy getting moved? Possibly. But again, Rortvedt, you got to be able to show that Rortvedt's healthy. You got to call him up, and then you got to move Austin Wells up to AAA. Those moves have to happen as soon as Higgy gets traded, if he gets traded. But like the Marlins have shown and the Cardinals have shown an interest for catching depth, they're two trade partners here, potential trade partners for the Yankees. For a guy like Higgy, who's a veteran catcher, who's got, some pretty, he's like at Girardi level. I mean, caught a no hitter, caught a perfect game now, and is a decent backup. So, Tiny can refuse report. Just go back to Japan. A flat out refuse to report. He probably could, but he'd be forfeiting all that contract too. David. But yeah, it's flat out. Yeah. Soto to me is a safer bet for the Yankees. I think we get more value and more use out of him. So, yeah, I think people would probably burn the stadium down if they traded Ohtani to the Angels. I think they really would, especially if they were close. Yeah, dude. Soto and left, Spencer Jones and center Judge. I mean, that's a sexy outfield right there. Or Harrison Bader at center field and Spencer Jones at first. Since Spencer Jones is so big, I would see if he'd be willing to play first base. That way I could have Jones there and Bader. So you have your elite defense in the outfield, and then you have that bopping bat, Spencer Jones replacing Rizzo. It's time to replace Rizzo. So does that thought appeal to you at all, Steels, just out of curiosity? Ohtani's a beast, Emmanuel. There's no doubt about it. Exactly, Soto. I mean, I keep saying it, right? You can give him an opt-out after 5 years, and if he wants to get a big contract at 30, like Ohtani's going to get, go do it. And the Yankees say, we got 5 years of your prime. Deuces. You know what I mean? And Yankees just move on. Appreciate it. Yeah, to me, it just makes sense. What about Trout in the offseason? I don't think they're going to trade for Trout. No, I mean, I don't think the Angels are going to trade Trout either. I doubt it. Yeah, Yankees are playing Orioles for 4. Well, part that's completely up to you, but I mean, you could cheer on Orioles, but just just be respectful on the live streams, dude. You know that. You know that. That's all I ask. People can disagree on stuff, but just don't. Let's not, egg each other on or be disrespectful. That's all. Padres owner just came out and said they aren't selling. Yeah, it could be a tactic too, Drew, but it could be a tactic. We'll see. Speaking of moving catchers, work that isn't being brought up. Well, that's exactly, Sunil. Exactly. Arenado to the Dodgers for pitching prospects? Possibly. Yep. I wouldn't trade Jones either, or Peraza. Well, I mean, those are like my 4 untouchables right there, Steven. Here's what the Yankees need to win it all. Legit leadoff hitter. Soto. Benintendi. Well, Benintendi didn't want to be here, Ryan, and he's not playing that well in Chicago, so I think the Yankees might have dodged a bullet there with him. But Soto, hell yeah. And 2 good long relievers, yep. I like the long relievers because it makes life easier for the short relievers. It's a bridge from the starting pitchers to the short relievers. So it's a difference between using 3 or 4 pitchers versus using 7 or 8 in the game. To me, that's a big value. That's a huge value. Yeah, Spencer Jones is a Aaron Paul Neal type. A little bit injury plagued. I mean, I will say this injury was obviously a freak injury. This is, playing hard hustle injury. And the fact that Dodgers had a faulty freaking fence. So, not really his fault, but I hope it doesn't become an injury prone thing like an IL every year, like we have with Stanton. So, I hope that's not Joe's going to start hitting when the pain goes away in his foot, Al. So, I don't, probably at least a couple of weeks. He's playing catch right now, so he needs his legs, he needs his lower body to plant, to pivot. So he needs to load and all that stuff. So I think it's still a couple of weeks, honestly. Let's the thing too, Jonathan. If you invest in your team and you win championships, you'll win more money than you invest. You'll earn more money than you invest, right? So, it's make the right investments, be smart, be persistent. Like Joe Kelly Hasty, yes, he does, but I'm sure if he came here, he'd be a good bastard for us. Yeah. Would you guys give up Judge for? No, I'd probably keep Judge here. Probably keep Judge here. Right, NFE? Whether the Yankees get Ohtani or Soto won't solve the problem. Yeah, it's going to take exactly. This is the thing, right? Keep saying this too. It's not just Sotana or Ohtani. Neither one of them is going to fix the team altogether. They don't solve pitching problems. They don't make overused relievers better. So you're absolutely right. This is the point right here. 100%, man. 100%. So Babe Ruth, get a call. Yeah, man. Babe Ruth, baby. Wow. Yeah, Soto does walk at ridiculous levels, like bottom levels. He's a master at getting on base, and that's exactly what we need to put right in front of a guy like Aaron Judge to give him RBI opportunities because he doesn't get a ton of them. So hits a lot of solo home runs. I think Torres gets traded too. I think he increased his trade value the last couple days. So, and I would be moving him for pitching. Um, exactly. Getting Ohtani alone doesn't fix his team. Exactly. These folks make some great points. Yeah, and if I'm kind of scrolling backwards trying to catch up here. Yeah, I wasn't gonna go live, NFE, but I saw this article. And it's by what's the name of them again? Clutch Points, and I'm talking about the perfect Shohei Ohtani trade for the Yankees. And for those of you who haven't heard, here's the trade again. Ohtani, and I looked up MLBTradeValues.com to see this stuff, and this is not the most. They leave a lot of the human effect out of this stuff, but they get penalized for age. Players get penalized for contract size. So, like Shohei Ohtani's current trade value is 57.3. That's going to go down significantly once he gets whatever mega deal he gets next year. But in the trade they proposed, Ohtani goes to the Yankees for Everson Pereira, Elijah Dunham, and Will Warren, and that's it. And that's why I'm like, dude, that's when you got to go Sonny from Bronx telling him, put him in a bedroom. You got to do it. That's what you got because I don't see a scenario in the world where the Yankees would get him for that. I just no. I mean, I think Rob he makes us win more games, but not the World Series. He doesn't guarantee us the World Series. No way. Ohtani for Torres, Dominguez, Warren. If that's a trade, that's a trade that I would consider. Seriously, I would. Wendy Dustman, Kyrie Irving. I know I saw that, Sunil. Why? Why did they bring back Kyrie Irving? Angels won't take you. I don't think they will. I heard there was an article today. Was it by Pinstripe Nation? That was Mazza from Fortran Express sent to me that the Mets are willing to take on Josh Donaldson's contract right now, but you have to add Ian Hamilton in the trade. You have to give them Ian Hamilton because they're looking for bullpen help. Would anybody in here do that? Would anybody in here do that? You know, that one would be the $1 million question. Oh, you know what I need? Yeah, Nola is a guy that I would look for in free agency. Yep, a reliable starter. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if you're talking about the same thing I'm talking about, I would not give Ian Hamilton to the Mets. I would give them Ron Marinaccio, Wandy Peralta, a couple guys, but not Ian Hamilton. To take Donaldson's money, no, thank you. So the Mets don't have it. No, we don't need anything from the Mets. We just need them to absorb the contract, and that's the thing. They want to absorb a bad contract, and they'll just DFA him for bullpen help. So we give them a reliever, but we're also giving them a bad contract. Where again, they would pay the rest of Donaldson's contract this year and his buyout for next year. So Yankees wouldn't be on the hook at that either for that. So Wheeler deadline, maybe Benji, maybe. I'm gonna put the link to the article after the stream. I'm gonna put it down in the description of the video itself, so that's where you find it. I didn't put it in before, but I'll put it in afterward. Aiden, so you keep a look at it. Like 5 to 10 minutes after we wrap up the live stream, I'll have it out on there already for you. So, but I will put the link to the video. Amongst newest trades, we get Soto as well. Let me put this up. It'd be Cashman's gutsiest move since 2000 when he landed David Justice. You're damn right it would be, Sunil. You're damn right it would be. That would be our absolute David Justice move. So I think Soto would be so good here, honestly. And they got a huge Dominican community here. His fan base would be insane. He would be a top jersey seller. He would make so much money, just like Otani would. Soto would bring so much money to this franchise. It would be ridiculous. And again, he's 5 years younger than Otani. I like that youth, man. McNeil and Alonso, at least for an Otani, oh hell, at least that. So Jonathan Taylor, we would trade Torres, Dominguez, Severino, Will Warren. I mean, if you can, I mean, Will Warren would hurt, but if that's all it would take to get Soto, I would do that, Jonathan. I would do that. Yeah. Oh. I want you to ocean waves to crash. I'm sorry to crash your sleep party, D-Rod. I appreciate you spending some time, but feel free to go get your rest. I'm gonna wrap up shortly too. So I had a long ass day today too, and but we'll be back tomorrow too. We got the Orioles in town now, so it's going to be a big series. So right here, Billy. Yes, with all the issues the Yankees have had with overusing relief pitchers, I would not part. Exactly, I wouldn't part with Hamilton either because it's like a strong, fresh arm. Again, I would move a Marinaccio. I would or a Wandy Peralta because I think they'd be a little bit taxed, or even an Albert Abreu, who's got a big arm but has been used quite a bit to the Mets to take, or even I would give him two out of the three if you take all of Donaldson's contract. I'll give him two of the three because we have Ian Hamilton, and then they can get a reliever somewhere else as well. I don't worry about Cashman's ability to bring in another reliever at the trade deadline because he's very good at that. Yep. Yeah, NFE knows too. These 50-year-olds can hang. They can handle themselves, especially on the mats. So, you know, yeah, yeah, man. So I rolled a guy who's a brown belt who's like I think he 58, 59, and he is good. He's one of the strongest people I rolled. He's got a death grip. I hate getting choked out by him. He is very good. He's again one belt away from his black belt jiu-jitsu soon. So um, Ron and Wandy, I would if they would be willing to take on Elviso, if they're willing to take on Donaldson's contract and the buyout for next year, yeah, yeah. Yankees are done training. I don't know, Jonathan. If they're willing to give them the relievers, one or two relievers that they want, not named Hamilton or King, um, got to consider it. I think. I mean, I would. So then we'll see. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Now, I don't know how many likes we have, but if anybody hasn't hit that like button, if you wouldn't mind, I mean, we definitely want to get over 100 likes. So it's greatly appreciated. We're at about 100 people right now. So um, Tigers just DFA Trevor Rosenthal. You can get a reliever on the low here, on the cheap. If he gets released, yeah, they DFA him, so it'll be a week or two before release. He's a guy that's worth looking into too. Who do you think is off the rotation? That's a good question. Obviously, I don't. They might option out. Well, they could DFA Abreu, or somebody like Willie Calhoun. It's going to be interesting because it's going to happen in a couple days. So I'm really um, curious to see who gets DFA'd or optioned out. We got 82 likes up in here. Okay, 18 likes to get 100 gang. 18 likes. Get Diaz. I don't think the Mets will trade him. Edwin Diaz. Nah. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, D-Rod. So everyone's chance with the team. I don't think he's going to be back next year, even. Where would you play Florial? I mean, if he was up here, you play him in left field. Give him a shot. I think Chapman to Texas was a good move. They needed depth in the bullpen to hang with bullpens like ours. I think we need depth in the bullpen too. So I would, you could trade Torres for a really good reliever. You can trade someone else for a really good reliever. And I do think Cashman will pick up a reliever at the deadline. I do. So who I don't know, but if he winds up with freaking Josh Hader or somebody like that, like we're like, holy crap! I wouldn't be surprised. Like they got Clay Holmes out of nowhere. None of us knew who he was. Scotty Frost out of nowhere. He'll be back next year. So um, there are some folks. There will be still are some folks, and again, he has a reputation for doing that's his best. It's the that's his best, I think, attribute in terms of trading, getting controllable and pretty solidly pitching. So, so, yeah, they did Texas. That's a pretty good. That was a pretty good trade for Texas. Efrost not necessarily a big loss. He's not a free until 2028, so we have 4 more years of Efrost after this year when he comes back from Tommy John. So, but it was a big loss, Jonathan. This year we needed him, yes, but we gave up Hayden Wisniewski for him. So, short term definitely a big loss, Jonathan. Long term, I'm happy we have him because he'll be boosting the bullpen next year. It's like, and that to me is a good thing. That to me is a good thing. Yeah, Lapari's trying to get a rise out of folks. Yeah, he knows. He knows he doesn't want. He doesn't want to get. He doesn't want to get Kimura. You know the deal, honestly. Yeah, or he doesn't want to get Z locked. He doesn't want the hands to get on him, the cross collar. He doesn't want that. Come over and pull across. He doesn't want that, Timothy. He doesn't want it. Steele's always a pleasure having you on, brother. Hop on, let's get some of the guys again. Hop on. Let's do our MLB trade deadline predictions as we start to get closer. I want to have you guys on. We could do like a really good live stream, man, if you're up for it. But always appreciate you having on, bro. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think like he'll probably cut some of the long hair if the Yankees got Hader, but he'd probably keep his stash. I mean, Rodon's keeping his stash, so the Darcy, yeah, and if he do a little neon belly, you can mess with him a little bit. There's so many things, Lapari, that we could do that you won't even know. And you're like, what? How did they just do it, man? It's the way we roll, man. It's the way we roll. You know, if you can get a 130-pound man feeling like he's 260 pounds when he's on top of you, like dead waiting, you're in trouble. Ooh, oh yeah, baby. There's a standing triangle that I do from a punch defense too, NFE, where I like to I deflect the punch and I come underneath and get inside here, choking them with their own arm, and I'm coming back here and I'm locking in, and then I'll sweep them and get on top of them to make it a more suffocating triangle. It's a really good punch defense triangle, NFE, but I love triangles, dude. Love them. It's a very NFE. I'm up for that, man. If we're ever in the same area, be honored to roll with you too, man. Be fun. Be fun. I always learn from somebody that I roll with, so no matter who, it's different sizes of people. You never know. You never know, man. Yes, I did. D-Rod crashed it about Scherzer. That's right, man. I try to go on the live streams or going across the board to support the other channels and be part of the discussion too, as I learn from all these guys. So love doing it. House Steinbrenner to give Cashman, had to make a blockbuster for once. So could you, Jonathan? If that was true, that would be kind of awesome. It would be kind of awesome. If you could prove that's true, I think we'd probably love you forever too. Sweep the leg. Yeah. I like the Hickson Gracie front kick to the leg. Front leg, front kick. Try to get that knee. You know what I'm talking about, NFE? I appreciate that, NFE, man. Thank you, sir. Angela. So Yankees get Soto and Blake Snell. Padres get Peraza, Dominguez, Wells, and oh my God, that's a hefty trade. But it might cost that. It might cost that. And this is a thing, like you're playing, you're talking about Juan Soto here, man. So yeah. And he's still arbitration for next year too. So he's on the cheap for next year too. And any extension probably won't start until after next year anyway. So if the right no can defense. Except when the guy from Karate Kid 2, the Japanese guy, blocked his crane kick. Oh, that was fantastic. I agree too, War Room. It's going to be a weird trade deadline for the Yankees. I think they're going to make. I think it's going to be a combination of buyers and sellers here. But if you guys haven't checked out Yankees War Room, please do too as well. He put an interesting video out. Was it yesterday or today with some Yankees trade options, and I think you'll find it intriguing. So I encourage you to take a look at his channel, his videos, and if you haven't subscribed to his channel yet, please do so. He's one of the original members of the 161 Mafia too. Young YouTuber, diehard Yankee fan, puts out good content. So let's support Yankees War Room if you guys don't mind. Best defense, no, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, this is the thing, LV. So we don't know. The hitting coach didn't see that. We just don't know. We're hearing speculation from other channels, right? You didn't hear Volpe say that. So you didn't hear from the source themselves. And this is where I don't entertain that stuff, LV. So that's dangerous territory. So but yeah, that's the rumor around town, LV. So and then obviously the chicken porn story. And it was only chicken porn with Austin Wells, who's a disciple of Dylan Lawson family anyway. So you know what I mean? But nevertheless, I don't care what it was. I'm happy that he's playing better. So that's where the energy to me is best spent, just being happy that he's playing better. You know? Of course, War Room, you know the deal, brother. School is out, videos are back. Yes, sir. Yes, War Room's still in school too. He's doing his thing, he's training his brain, getting his academic training on. So, but he's still putting out the videos. He's still putting out the videos, which we appreciate, my man. Beater isn't getting traded for. I can't see Beater traded for Bellinger either. I can't see that. We got him, Giolito for Pereira and Jared Serna. That's possible. I would try to extend that trade, Angelo, if and try to get a reliever from the White Sox as well. Because I do think another starter and a reliever would be a good trade, a good investment for the Yankees for the rest of the season. I really do. So this is the problem, Aiden. It sounds like they don't have the money to re-sign Soto. So the Angels sounds like they do, but the Padres are now in a precarious financial situation that they may be losing money as a franchise right now. So they might not be able to re-sign Soto. They might not be able to re-sign Hader. So and they've already made mad commitments to guys like Xander Bogaerts and Manny and Tatis. Like they may be tapped out. Maybe. Now I hope that's wrong, but because I don't want the Padres to suffer some kind of thing. But it's just the type. This is the business part of baseball, unfortunately. So, what is the Yankees get Joe Kelly? The Red Sox get Greg Weissert, Luis Hill. Well, that's a lot for just Joe Kelly. That might be the price, unfortunately, Angelo. You might be right there. That might be the price. I appreciate that, Rob. Thank you so much, man. Always a pleasure. Appreciate your support too, and welcome to 161, man. Yeah, I think this is. I mean, this is probably I think it's the safest, one of the safest assumptions or safest predictions. Either back with Angels, and if he leaves the Angels, I'm predicting either the Dodgers or the Mariners. So Hill's already throwing some bullpens now, Jonathan. So I think he'll return by late summer. So yeah, and not only made stand shifts, but he's paying attention, and he's also his swing was so long and so wide. He's tightening things up, and which is allowing him to go the opposite field too warm. So that's a great point. That's a great point. Pereira and Sweeney. Oh my God! If you can get Devin Williams for that, I would in a heartbeat, baby. Yeah, I would take it exactly. That's a great point too. Take advantage of the possibility that Houston could miss. They could. You have Texas Rangers. You could have either the Angels or the Mariners up there. You could knock them out of a wild card spot altogether. You really could. So, and exactly, Cashman take advantage of it. Get the guys that you need to help put you over put you over that hump. So, you want a sharp team? Yeah, I mean, you might be right. It's going to be hard for a team to let go of Ohtani. This is a historic player. So, um, but Artie Moreno is a ridiculously wealthy owner too. So, if any franchise can do it, it can be the Angels. But I still give the advantage to the Dodgers and potentially the Mariners because they are super wealthy too. They have a huge Japanese market over there too. Yeah, she got ejected 2 days ago. So now Rachel Balkovic first. She also got ejected by a female umpire. First female ejection got ejected by a female umpire, arguing an out call that wasn't apparently not an out. So, but it's nice to see. It's really nice to see she's feisty. And Boone was ejected today for the fifth time this season. So yeah, I think a reliever might be a wise idea because some of our relievers have been overused, especially with some of our starters not given length, which makes them have to use the bullpen more often. So, and I would definitely get another reliever no matter what. One starter, one reliever, and try to get that outfield position um, addressed to a degree. So, Ken is right. Appreciate you, Ken. Thank you so much for your support, man. Shout out back to you too, man. Shout out to Canada. Right, love that we have Yankee fans in Canada, baby. Snell and Soto for Dominguez, Warren, Marinaccio, and Pereira. That's a trade you have to make, Nicholas. I mean, yeah, that's a trade I would. I mean, not hesitate for 3 seconds. I would make that any day of the week. Anthony, though, you don't have to. I won't even entertain that actually, because you're trying to dig and poke, but it's not working, Lepar. You do whatever you want, dude. Watch, cheer for your team or whatnot, but don't try to egg up people on here. Let's not do that. Ohtani and Trout for Judge, and we need half of Judge. Damn, dude. We need half of Judge's salary and pay all of Ohtani and Trout. Dang. You're trying to roll up the Yankees payroll big time, huh? Dang. It's aggressive. You're kind of crazy, though. Can you imagine that happened? You can? Oof. Um, if the Padres asked for Nestor, Torres, and Dominguez for Soto in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Mm-hmm. Yep, and you don't have to give up Peraza. You don't have to give up. Yeah, 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 yeah. Just be respectful, right? And I feel it's just it's really not that difficult to be respectful, man. You know, be cool, man. Be cool, dude. Sean Penn style from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, man. Right? Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, his trade deadline decision will make or break. Yeah, I think you have a lot of weight to that one. That one makes a lot of sense. He's saying Cabrera, Pereira, and Sweeney for yes, 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 100%. Yes, sir. The last big one, um, Justice in 2000, A-Rod. That was in what, 2003? Was it 2003? Yeah, I think 2003. It's probably the other one. Sunil's on. Tristan McKenzie. I don't know if he's trade. I don't know if the Guardians are going to want to trade him. Right? I don't know if that's going to. I don't know. Yeah, he's going to build up again. Yeah, he's exactly. So that's a good point too. He has to keep the playoff format and bracket in mind. Who would he have to face in several rounds, and do we have enough to get those guys that we need to hang with those or beat these teams? That's a great point. What do I think we could? Oh, where did War Room go? It could be the beta. I think Randall Grichuk from the Colorado Rockies. I think War Room. Grichuk from the Rockies. He's very familiar with the AL East. He's playing with the Dodgers. He was a Yankees killer. He's also known as being a clutch player. I think if you get him for left field, you put him in left. He's like, yes, he's 31, but he's a free agent at the end of the season too. I think he'd be a good fit here, and I think he could be our 2023 version of Harrison Bader. And you get Grichuk in left, Bader in center, and then whoever in right. I think it'll be good. And honestly, I would much rather have him come here and become a Rays killer or a Blue Jays killer than have him go to one of those teams and just beat us up and kick our butts. Warren, does that make sense? And who do you think, in your opinion, would be the Bader this year? Bobby Abreu was a good trade too. Yes, it was. Yep. With this playoff format, even if we make the playoffs, we could see teams like Arizona Brewers. Yeah, I mean, if you get that far in the World Series, yes, sir. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they traded for Justice at the perfect time. He needed to change the scenery. He came here, he was money until for like a year and a half, and then they moved on from him. But they traded for him at the perfect time. They really did. I was at that game when he hit that clutch 3-run home run off Arthur Rhodes to put the Yankees in lead against Seattle, and that's the one they eliminated Seattle and to go to the Subway Series against the Mets. Game 6 in Yankee Stadium, and right behind us sitting was Don Mattingly in the box right behind us. Possibly Sunil, but I think it might cost a little too much, and I don't think the Giants are going to fall out of it. But if they do, he has to be considered. He's clutch, at least at the very least in the postseason. So, but if I had to go over, I would choose Grichuk over Peterson. He wouldn't cost as much. I think you're right, Warren. This could be Cashman's craziest trade deadline. It could be nuts, and he can make some trades that we're not even thinking about. And we'd sit back later and say, "Holy cow! What did he just do that?" Yes, he did. And we're gonna. I think it's you might be right, Warren. I think you might be onto it here. It's really hard to gauge or get a feel of the pulse of which direction he's thinking of heading, right? So, but again, it also makes it fascinating too. I mean, we're 4 weeks away, so this is going to be crazy. It's going to be really intense. So, would I trade Dominguez for Camilo Doval? I don't know enough about Doval or Isaac. What do I need to know? Camilo Doval. I need to do some research on him. Robert, I've been echoing this since these sentiments too. You move Torres, you get what you get pitching or something like that. And we'll be the second Peraza for short. That would be a much defensive upgrade in the infield. Even though, especially the last couple games, Volpe's played a fantastic shortstop. I got to give him that. But Peraza is super elite at shortstop. Naylor, Naylor, man, could you imagine Naylor? He's trying to get in the Yankees' heads there, and they got him back. No. And well, I think too. So I think the same thing. I think they might be buying and selling. It could be a very and rival GMs are saying they expect him to kind of create chaos at the trade deadline. So shake things up. Shooting off fireworks? Nah, we're gonna go to a place so my girls can go see fireworks. Go to a park nearby so that other people can do it. I got 3 little girls and I don't play with fireworks. We're gonna go watch and have some fun. But no, I mean it's just one of these seasons, LV. And he's, they sent him down to low ball. They're gonna try to, well, we need 8 likes to 100 gang. Can we get to 100 likes? I appreciate it. I thank everybody who's hitting the like button. He's got a lot of things to work on, which his physical, his mechanics, his mental. So they're gonna basically try to revamp him completely in Manoah. So he's got a big arm. So I hope it works out. I want to see him do well. I want to see good pitching facing the Yankees too. So, he's a tough competitor. So I hope it works out. Except when he plays the Yankees. Yeah, this is a good Cheshire Cat. Good point. Last place teams are going to get hauled. Yes, they will. If they have the right players, heck yeah. Trevino Donaldson. I think Trevino's probably the only with any kind of trade value here. Allen. Yeah. DFA. Abreu might get the DFA'd when Rodon comes up. I'm really curious to see, um, who was going to be the corresponding move for Rodon. And I would keep Matt Crook up here to help Wandy out, to be honest with you. Just give him a chance. So he pitched better a second time around. So, but you need some kind of regularity, right? Yeah, Manoa, I think he's got to work on his physical. He's got to work on being in shape as well. Could see the Yankees possibly selling Bader and then re-signing him if you know. Oof. That would be a tough one, Warren, because I wonder how we would feel about being sent off unless there was some kind of written agreement, some kind of agreement. You know what I mean? Trading, but just like they did with Chapman, they traded and they got Labor Torres and then they re-signed Chapman in the offseason. Well, I mean, they could do the same thing. You're right about that. If they don't buy at the deadline. Yeah, I think the Yankees are leaning towards buying. I mean, look, if they want to go make a deep run in the playoffs, they have to buy. They have to make adjustments. So that's a great question too, Warren. That's a fantastic question. Three-teamer. I think Bader Isai is probably going to cost 4 years. I think. So now we need 4 likes to get to 100, gangs, and we have 4 people that haven't hit that like button yet. If you don't mind, smack that like button, that thumbs up. It's greatly helpful. Wells versus Herman tomorrow. A good game. Yeah, well, it's true, Billy. He's been in 2 crappy situations. He played better the second time, but I think they should, you know, play him with some regularity because he has value there, and he can throw multiple innings like he did the other day. So from the left-handed side, that to me is valuable. And he can bridge the gap between the starters and the short inning relievers. That to me is a good weapon. All right, appreciate you all. We're over 100 likes. Thank you, gang. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But all right, well, yeah, show me, yeah. Well, some folks got to go to work tomorrow, so I will let you all go. But I wanted to thank you all for coming on. I know it's short notice, last minute kind of thing, but I wanted you to see. I wanted to see what you all thought about this crazy Ohtani trade thing. That he's perfect. And in a couple of minutes, I'm going to go back and attach the article to this to the video itself, this live stream, so you can take a look and see what you can read it and let me know what you think. But peace and love, NFE. Good to see you, my man. Have a great night, everybody. And if I don't see you tomorrow, happy 4th of July. I'll definitely be here 4th of July as well. So, but have a great night, everybody. Again, all the best. Appreciate you all. And I'll talk to you later.